Hi, my name's Jason Clark. I'm the founder and CEO of Meditativa, and today I'd like to take a little bit of time to share with you a little of my past so you can understand better how I got here and how Meditativa came to be. I didn't always work in the medical marijuana industry. For 13 years I worked in the tech industry, and I did all kinds of jobs there, from fixing computers later down the road to doing video media and editing, and eventually I started working in artificial intelligence and systems architectures. Lots of big words, but very fun and interesting, unique abilities I've been able to acquire over the years. During those times of acquiring those skills, I also decided to set out and create my own project called Sentient. Here's a little video of me pitching at NASA for $12.5 million. Pretty lofty goals, even now that I'm a little older and look back at it. Another article I'd like to share with you is from The Futurist that discusses how the Sentient project was built philanthropically to give back. Every project, I believe, should have philanthropy behind it. There should always be a way to create a system that gives back to those who need help. For example, Sentient 4G was a spin-off that was created while Sentient was being funded and built. Sentient 4G was the culmination of One Village, One World. A friend of mine, Akiba, created that as a mentoring program for African American youth who either had been in gangs, had felonies, and unable to work or find work to be able to take care of themselves. We created Sentient 4G together. It was a pretty simple concept. We would teach the youth how to use Facebook and Twitter, how to communicate with the audience that they needed to connect with, to be able to create leads for sales of wireless internet. And let's just say it was an amazing experience watching these young men and women capture these skills from systems they were already used to playing on and being able to make a living. For a long time, my heart has been in developing these types of things. Now, what you don't see throughout all of this either is the pain and suffering that I'm in. I suffer from HNPP, and I wasn't even diagnosed with this until after coming to Seattle. For many years, I was treated for fibromyalgia, MS. I could just go on and on with all of the misdiagnoses that had been given to me. Along with that, a laundry list of pharmaceuticals that they had given me as well. Oxycontin, fentanyl patches, you name it, morphine. None of them in the end worked out well. They rob you of your mind, your soul, and your heart. It took me a long time to realize that even being in pain, that the trade-off wasn't worth it. I used marijuana very actively in my life. Unfortunately, where we lived, in North Carolina, it was highly illegal. Meaning that if you got caught with so much as a joint, you would be arrested. If you got caught with a quarter, you were probably going to jail for some time and getting a felony charge potentially. This was not a easy state by any means. Well, after many years of trying to build Sentient and also at the same time find some work contract-wise that would allow me to support my family while still dealing with my debilitating disease. Sitting, things like this are very painful for me over long periods of time that pretty much knocked me out of working a regular job. It wasn't until August of 2010 when I was called by a friend of mine in Colorado who explained to me that they had just gone for profit in medical marijuana, and he wanted to know if I was interested in coming out and staying with him to see if there was a business that could be built from it. After speaking with my wife and my peers, we decided to pack up and sell off our house. My wife would go to Seattle, where her family is, her mother and her brother, and I would continue on to Colorado to see about building some type of business out there. Before leaving, I wrote this extremely long dissertation and mind map about this vision I had for a company called Meditiva. I knew nothing about the medical marijuana industry. Zero. How it functioned, what it did. But I had this grand vision of creating a medical marijuana company that could help people and do good in the world. It was kind of funny because it took many years before the culmination of that idea actually could happen. Well, I went to Colorado. Here's pictures of the house being packed up. There's us at the airport, and we even were able to ride the same flight all the way to Colorado and change planes and see each other one last time before she headed on to Seattle, and I stayed there to find our destiny, my destiny. Well, it was an amazing experience. 2 days after being there, we went to an expo. I actually talked to them about my ideas and concepts of what Meditiva should be, and believe it or not, they threw me up on stage that they thought the ideas were so progressive. I was very excited this early on, thinking that for sure there would be a possibility of building this in Colorado. Well, over time and realizing the politics, the money, and basically the foundation you would need to have, it was damn near impossible to really create a business there. And then a set of unfortunate events happened to me, which later would be the best turning point of my life. You know that saying that says sometimes when some doors close and something horrible happens, it's meant to open other doors for you? Well, this was that scenario. There's a picture of my hand. The x-ray showing what happened after a car accident and 2 reconstructive surgeries. I smashed my hand in over 18 places, breaking the wrist and the ulnars all the way across. Let's just say that it was the most painful, brutal experience of my life, and the hand doctor had said it was the worst he had ever seen. At this point, I couldn't take care of myself. I couldn't contribute to anywhere I was staying in Colorado. And so I contacted my wife, and I speak with her, and I said, baby, I think I need a place to stay and recoup and get back on my feet. And she said, well, you can come out here, but we're going to have to find a place. There's no space where I'm at right now. And so thus I ended up in Seattle due to my hand. Now when I arrive in Seattle, I still have 9 pins in my hand and a huge fixator on there. It's extremely painful, and we had to work hard to put our life together there. The next episode, I'm actually going to share with you what occurred and how FUBAR came into existence, and from there how Meditiva actually came. I'd like to just thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and I look forward to sharing more of the birth of Meditiva and eventually, hopefully, where it's going to blossom to. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.